Hey guys, David the Fishing Pastor here, and today I am doing starting a series really on breaking down a pond, or how I break down a pond. And it is early in the morning, and if I look sleepy, it's because I am. But really, I wanted to start off this morning with the first tip that I'm going to give you, and really that's time. Um, the time that you go fishing really has a lot to do with whether or not you catch fish sometimes, especially if you're doing bank fishing. And let me just show you the time right now. It is 5:49 in the morning, and it's kind of a trial and error thing whether or not the bite's better in the morning, the bite's better in the evening. But really, in these ponds, in these places that get kind of heavily pressured, it's really important what time you go. I've never caught anything at these ponds that I'm going to today in the afternoon or in the evening. I happen to know that there's a really good morning bite here. But that's kind of something you have to figure out depending on where you're going. So that's the first tip today, is time. Time you go is very important. Sometimes you got to make that sacrifice, wake up early and go, and that can really depend on whether or not you're going to catch more fish. That's not to say you can't catch fish at any time of the day, because you can, but sometimes you have better chances if you go early or even later in the evening. So I'm going to head over to the ponds now, and I will see you when we get there.
But tip number 2 is actually distance. Before I get up to the water, I see a lot of guys do it, and I do it sometimes too. Just really walk right up to the edge of the water. Well, if there are fish right on the bank, you're going to spook them, and you're going to hurt your chances. So before you walk up, take some distance, get your stuff ready, and don't walk all the way up to the bank. I'm going to get my one of my rods ready real fast before I even get to the water, because again, I don't want to walk all the way up there, be unprepared, to be fish on the bank, and I'm just going to spook them and hurt my chances. So again, take some time, try to be as quiet as you can, maybe not just so much with the audible with your voice, but heavy stepping and coming up real loud, and you kind of want to be as stealthy as possible. Again, you're bank fishing. You want to improve your chances as much as possible. And then tip number 3, and I'm going to get into it in a second, but really tip number 3 is try to start off with a finesse presentation, and fish the bank. It's easy to come up, grab some type of reaction bait, a crankbait or spinner bait or something, and start casting out. Well, a lot of times these fish are actually going to be right up along the bank. So I'm going to get my finesse rod out, and that could be whatever you want. I have a drop shot on today because that's just my favorite finesse setup. You can have a shaky head, a Ned rig, maybe like a small finesse jig, something like that. So, okay, so I've got my drop shot set up. And again, I'm going to keep some distance. I have caught fish in very shallow water before, right off of this bank. So, I'm already getting close enough to spook these ducks. Okay, so once I feel that I have sufficiently finesse fished in front of me, and then you can start covering water. And what you use is really your preference. I like crankbaits. More specifically, I like square bill crankbaits. They're great for covering A lot of water. And for covering the banks. They're shallow diving, generally 3 to 5 feet. And a lot of fun to fish. Get yourself some square bills. Some really good ones are the KVD 1.5s. Great square bills. Inexpensive and great lures. I have a bunch. Today I'm actually fishing a Livingston square bill, and it's a little bit more pricey. I don't fish it all that much, but I like the weight to it. It has a good amount of weight. Again, and with this you can cover water easily. You know, you're fishing fish close to the banks. Don't just fish out. Try to fish parallel to the bank as much as you possibly can, because a lot of times, like I've said, this isn't going where I want it to go exactly, but like I've said, a lot of times they'll be right off of the banks. So you have a kind of a search bait, like a crankbait, like a spinnerbait, something like that. You want to use that to your advantage. Again, you want to start covering water, which means fan casting is definitely a great way to do that. And maybe you've heard of this term, maybe you haven't. But basically, as a fan is spread out, you're going to start casting to each direction, really. And this is going to help you cover more water. You know, cast here, move over a little bit, cast there, move over a little bit, cast there, and that'll definitely help you cover some water. Again, you want to be careful. Things with treble hooks and stuff, getting into reeds, you're gonna get hung up. So make sure you're careful with that. And now again, I've sufficiently covered the bank to my satisfaction. Now I can start covering more water.
Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to go through those few things, you know, that hopefully will help you out. If you're just starting, you don't know where to start out, maybe you haven't been able to catch fish, I don't know, hopefully that, you know, anything that I've said today will make you a better fisherman. But if you do have your own tactics or your own methods of doing things, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you do differently. Always interested in your guys' opinion. But again, my hope is that this helps you out somehow. So, you know, just employing those few things. Time of day is super important. You know, when you get up, kind of keeping your distance and keeping kind of quiet so you don't spook fish. Try to start off finesse fishing if you can, and once you've done that, you can cover the bank with a moving bait, a square bill, a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, something like that. And then also, once you've done that, then kind of fan casting around so you can cover as much water as possible. But keep an eye out for the next video. Probably going to go over some gear, maybe some more things, tackle, things like that. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm going to go ahead and keep fishing. If I get anything on video, hopefully I can add it to this video. But thanks again for watching. You guys are amazing. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks again for all your support. And I will see you guys in my next video. God bless. Hopefully you get out on some nice fish.